All right, what's up, guys? I wanted to get in front of the charts and take a look at what I'm expecting for the week. I'm going to try to make this a weekly habit here to kind of go over the charts. What I like to do on Sundays is really take the opportunity, right, of the market being down, taking that downtime and really coming up with my bias and game plan going into the week. I find a lot of times that Sunday is probably the most important day as far as how you start the week going into that Monday. So we're gonna start here on the monthly, right? Obviously, we had a very big week last week, looking at FOMC, that interest rate decision. I know I talked about that going into the week. We talked about that post our one winning trade that we took, which I'll recap towards the end. And really now we're going to see the price action that's coming out of that in a really interesting spot in the market, right? Yet again in price discovery mode, trading at all-time highs. So I don't really need to do much explaining to really show you what we've been doing on the month and how we look so far in September. It's been extremely bullish, and again, moving into new levels of price that we just haven't seen before. For me, it was a little bit notable to see, obviously we're coming towards the end of the month now, but we had a very tight range last month. We had a tighter range last month compared to now, and seeing a really nice move day in and day out, right? It's been hard to kind of short some of the price action we've been getting. So really, again, the focus is going to continue to be longs where I can get them. So last week in particular, obviously we got a very strong close towards the high, right, of all the price action we had last week, and a definitive close over the week before. I'll go in expecting the same. I think Monday and Tuesday are going to be really telling. There's no major economic data that we have scheduled that I was able to see going through Forex Factory. I know that that Jay Powell is going to talk on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday afternoon. So we'll see how much chop we get in the AM session before that. Tuesday may be a little bit of a no trade day. But when I'm seeing price action like this, really the game plan doesn't change too much. The reality is at all-time highs, I'm typically only looking for longs. And I think that the most important thing beyond, looking for a shift in the game plan, right, is I'm not going to do that until price action tells me to do it. And really, it's just not becoming too comfortable to the point where I'm not able to notice some of the signs that are in front of me as far as when I need to start changing the direction of my trades or waiting a little bit longer. I did see that a little bit in April. I kind of had that struggle where, and I should say more so in February after the tariffs, and then on some of these weeks where we were actually closing downward in obviously a bigger uptrend, was ignoring some of those signs sometimes because we've been in a bull market, in such a strong bull market for so much of this year, that you're really accustomed to only taking longs and not really being too afraid of what's coming the other way as far as, healthy dips or reversals or retests. And I think that's really the name of the game is, it's the bias is kind of built in. We're looking for longs, but you have to be patient and also understand when there's signs in your face showing you that you have to wait until that next setup comes to the upside, right? Because some of those moves, even though they're just pullbacks, smaller looks on a bigger time frame, it's they can be very violent. They can be very aggressive, and if you get caught just trying to buy every single dip in those small pullbacks, you end up turning what should be a really good week into a not so good one. So that's really what I'm looking at. All that to say, not really much has changed since last week. What I really look for in weeks, right, where we're typically in a level of price that we haven't traded to before, price discovery mode, is going to be the first level I really mark out is just where we topped at the last session. Right at the time of this recording, it's the market hasn't opened yet. Sunday night, it's 5:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So right now, the first thing I'm going to mark out is the high of Friday's session. And I'm going to want to see if price opens up higher, right? A gap is going to be a strong sign for me. And if we continue to displace overnight into the morning session, right? So just going off of how we closed this week is this analysis, but obviously I'll be even more patient if we either gap down. If we stay close to these levels, I'll want to be very patient early in the Monday session as far as waiting for either a sweep, right, of liquidity to a move higher. Just a little bit of confirmation within my model that it's safe to continue looking for an entry. I think that remains the same no matter what direction I'm trading in, and that's going to be. Typically, I'll look for a little bit more, some more spots where I'd be interested in getting in, but the reality is we just don't have any price action for me personally to kind of compare where we're at to. So I'm really just going to see how we react in the overnight and how we react at these levels that we've been trading at to see if it's worth it for me to take a trade. We saw a bit of a choppy session on Friday. I didn't take any trades on the XFA. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bit of the same on Monday. Again, no notable catalyst, no notable economic data that may drive a little bit extra volatility, but we'll see how we open up and how Monday goes. So going over last week, I did kind of mention it. So I'll show the calendar here now that we've kind of explained what the game plan, what we're expecting. Again, we only took one trade towards the end. We started this series, this challenge on Thursday. So I promise to be fully transparent as possible. Whether we make it and scale to another payout or we blow this account. So far, we've taken 2 trades, which I broke down last time. And the account was sitting on a balance of $585. Again, nothing on Friday. It looked to be the right decision because price action wasn't that good. I was tuned in, but for me, just not too favorable coming towards the end of the week. After a big move, I wanted to see how price settled post FOMC on Wednesday. So traded a little bit of that action right after, but going into Friday, historically has not been my best or my favorite day to trade, especially when we've had a lot of catalysts and strong catalysts at that throughout the rest of the week. So I definitely favor just waiting until Monday. So we'll see what we get tomorrow. I'll be active. I'll be ready to take something that sets up. Right now, as far as, days one, we have one winning day, obviously, for the XFA. We need 4 more before we can even consider a payout here. So I'll look to continue risking that $400. We'll go to 2-to-1 RR. If we end up starting with a win tomorrow, we'll leave it at that. And I'll give you guys a recap. I don't think I'll be able to trade a session live this week, maybe until towards the end of the week. But I wanted to talk about my plan. In reality, not much has changed. But again, really just from a mental perspective, being patient, waiting for enough volatility and clear price action that's going to give me enough confidence to look for longs. But really, that's the name of the game here, right? Understanding pullbacks are healthy and expected at really any point now. But I'm not going to trade in fear and continue to really just ride the trend, which has been to the upside. So that's going to be the game plan for this upcoming week. I appreciate you guys for following along. Again, I post all of the trades directly on Twitter. So it's the same handle as my YouTube. If you guys want to follow me there, I appreciate that. But again, I'll be adding a little bit more commentary throughout the day, even though I can't, record it live. So hopefully you guys have a good week. If you guys are watching this and you're trading this upcoming week, let me know what you're looking at, even if it's not NQ, right? I'm tapped into the stock market as well. Gold, different commodities. So whatever you guys are trading, let me know how you guys are doing, what you're looking at, how you did last week. I'll definitely be tuned into the comments if anyone's interested in talking about that. So I appreciate you guys.